Dear students, all my revered teacher friends, participants, we are to take this class for the students of higher secondary first year. And this is the third class. We started to discuss the concept of education, and this part is very much important, or one of the important parts of your chapter number 1. In your chapter number 1 or unit 1, you are to know the definition of education, concept of education, aims and objectives of education. And we had discussion in our 2 classes to the part of, productive parameter. And in my last class, or in our last class, I help you know that the basic concern of education is linked with human life. Education being one of the most important social processes, it has specific concern with the process of bringing changes towards social order with the help of the development of all the human attributes, so that human individuals can become quite ready to take part in the process of social transformation with the help of all the potentials or potentialities. At the time of defining education, I just have to repeat the last class where I left. We mentioned that the definitions of education provided by the modern group of educationists always reflect the economic parameter. Friends, dear students, the modern educationists have put importance on the economic parameter. And from modern perspective, or considering the demand of modern social order, educationists as well as experts are always talking about the roles and functions of education in the process of economic transformation. And that's why education is defined as one of the most important processes of economic transformation or economic uplift of social order. And that's why in our last class we had discussion on the economic parameter of education. Let us come back to begin our class today. In the present situation, more emphasis has been laid on the productive power of the human side. In today's globalized social order, educationists or the systems of education have been emphasizing on the development of the productive capabilities or powers of the human children or human side, or the learners. Education is treated as a power of production. Friends, dear students, how education is treated or how education is defined? Education is defined or treated as a power of production. And once we are to treat education or consider education as a power of production, then many things we are to discuss. In simple perception, when we define education or treat education as a power of production, it is treated as the means of acquisition of wealth. Because of such tendency, education is treated as a means of making men and women the productive units of the society. Means productivity, human productivity has special importance because you have heard the term of knowledge economy. People are frequently saying that we are living in a globalized social order, we are living in post-globalized social order, and knowledge economy has getting the prime importance in the present social situation. And that is why the prime concern of education has become one of the most important, one of the most important tools of bringing senses or taking part in the process of production so that we can help the economy of our society transform as per the chance demand of social order. Let us go back to the next slide. To treat men and women as human resources, we have heard the term human resource of the society, and once we link the term human resource with human individuals or you people, then the issue of productivity has been treated important, or it becomes much more important, because without productivity or the development of productive capabilities, man cannot take part in the process of production successfully. And if man cannot take, when man can't take, man or women cannot take part successfully in the process of production, we never can treat human individuals, maybe men or women, as human resource. And that's why it is defined, or education is defined as a means of human resource development. And in brief explanations, when the capabilities of men and women are systematically developed and they become fit to take part successfully in the process of production, they become the human resources of the society. Means how you become human resource, how we become human resource, how men and women become human resource or resources of the society. Human individuals or men and women become human resources or human resource when the capabilities or the inborn attributes or inborn potentialities of men and women are systematically developed considering the chance demand of knowledge economy. And every man, every woman, or men and women become fit to take part successfully in the process of production, then we can consider men and women as the resources of the society or resources of the economic parameter. In the process of production, particularly when we see or study the process of production, scrutinize the process of production, we see that there are four most important factors which have specific roles, or the four factors play definite roles, and these four factors are land, labor, capital, and organization. And among all these four factors, there is only one living factor, that is man. And that's why man or human individual has special importance in the process of production. Because in the process of production, the four factors, land, labor, capital, and organization, these four factors play definite roles. And when we consider or see all these four factors, then we find only one living factor, that is man. Man is to handle the other three factors. And with the help of the other three factors, or handling the other three factors, we can bring senses towards the process of production of our economic process. Let us go back to the next. Labor or the human factor plays dominating roles in the process of production. Without labor, we never can imagine about, or we never can think about the process of production. And in the process of production, labor has special roles to play. Human being manages the other three factors, that is land, capital, and organization. For this reason, men and women are treated as the most important factor of production. There is nothing better than man in the process of production, for which human beings are to be well prepared to take active part in the process of production with the help of education. And that's why education is treated as one of the important means, or it is treated as one of the important weapons of social transformation with the help of the transformation of knowledge economy or economic parameter of our society. In this respect, education is the only means with the help of which productivity can well be developed. And that's why education, once we are to define, we are to say that it's a process with the help of which the human individuals or organisms are well prepared as the productive unit of the society so that they can take part successfully in the process of production by handling all the other three factors, that is land, capital and organization. So, education is treated as the process of human development. Friends, you have come to know at the time of defining education, you are to say how you are to define education is a process of human development. It's a process with the help of which we can help human individuals become human capital. And human capital has special importance in the process of production as well as in the process of transformation of economic parameter of human society. And everything depend on the economic parameter, the progress of society, the progress of life, the existence of life, the progress of culture, the progress of life order. Everything depend on the progress as well as transformation of economic parameter of our social order. And that's why education is treated as one of the important means, and it is treated as one of the important mechanism of economic development or economic transformation, and you people are treated as human capital. And education, with the help of education, human individuals are prepared or transformed to the level of human capital so that they can take part in the process of production for bringing transformation to the economic parameter of social order. What does education refer to? Let us see, friends. What does education basically refer to? Education includes all the processes that develop human ability and behavior to make men and women fit to face life courageously. It's a process with the help of which we develop our inborn potentialities so that we can face our life courageously by facing or overcoming all the changes which the change time basically brought forward towards our living or towards our life parameter. In brief, education refers to this, a continuous process of never-ending process of growth and development. So friends, education is a continuous or never-ending, means non-stop process of, you see, growth and development. And once you study the differences between the two terms, growth and development, in psychology, you will see that growth basically signifies the physical parameter and development basically signifies the total dimension of, you see, transformation, physical as well as the mental. And that's why education is a process of growth and development of human potentialities so that human individuals become totally fit for taking part in the process of production by becoming proper human resources of the social order and by becoming, in other terms, proper human capitals for bringing senses towards the knowledge, towards the, you see, economic parameter. It's a continuous process or never-ending process. You have had this. Education carries two meanings. One is broad, another is narrow. One is very much, you see, extensive, another is very much narrow. In a broad sense, in extensive sense, life itself is education. And education begins or starts when your life starts and it ends when you die. We die means in the end of our life, education also ends. And in broader perspective, and that's why it's a continuous process. And it begins when life begins, or it starts when life starts, and it ends when life ends. It is the experiences of life of the individual. In narrow sense, education is the knowledge and information we acquire in educational institutions. Means, in narrow sense, what does education mean? Basically, the education which we acquire by going to schools and colleges or universities. But in broader perspectives, in extensive parameter, education means the experiences we accumulate or we gather by living life. And that's why it begins when life begins or it ends when life ends. Let us go back to the next. A process which helps the human individual and every living elements to organize all the acquired behaviors and habits to overcome the problems of life according to the needs and demands of their socio-cultural environment. Friends, things are very much rapidly changing our social order is changing, our cultural order is changing, our economic order is changing, civilization is changing, life itself is changing. And the basic role or the primary function of education is to make us ready or fit to lead life by considering all the changed situations or parameters of life, society, culture, civilization, etc., etc. And that's why education is a dynamic process. It's a continuous process, and it's a totally process. It's a totally changing process, and it changes with the changed demand of our life. A process which helps to modify the instinctive parameter of behavior so as to achieve our social pattern to live a better life. We are to achieve our social behavior, means it's a process of socialization. Just after the birth of the child remains, confined in his or her home environment, and when the child grows, basically he or she starts to go to society, and thenceforth he or she goes to school, goes to colleges, goes to universities, and the process of socialization begins once the child goes out from his family parameter to the social order, and thenceforth to other social organizations and institutions. Education is a process of development of all human abilities and behaviors. So friends, it's a process of development of all human attributes, as well as it's a process of transformation of human behavior. Why we are to transform our behavior? A question may come to your mind. As the answer of the question, we are to say that we are to change the pattern of behavior because we are living in social order which is very much dynamically changing, and it is our basic duty to make us ready to make us fit to face all the changes or challenges which the sense time brought forward towards our life from. Let us go back to the next one. Now let us see the narrow meaning of education. To understand the meaning of education in a better way, we will discuss the meaning from two perspectives, that is the narrow and broad perspectives. The narrow perspective of education may be treated as the narrow meaning, and the broad perspective of education may be treated as the broad meaning. If it is asked to write in examination, what does the broad meaning of education mean? What does the narrow meaning of education mean? Then you are to write that the narrow perspective or narrow meaning of education is, the narrow perspective of education may be treated as the narrow meaning, and the broad perspective of education may be treated as broad meaning. On the narrow perspective, education is the experiences and information as well as knowledge which we acquire by going to schools and colleges and to universities. And in broader perspective or extensive perspective or parameter, education means the experiences of life which we accumulate from the beginning to the end of our life journey. The term narrow means limited in extent, amount or scope. In the narrow sense, education is primarily confined to the institutional settings. In simple sense, from narrow perspective, education means the experiences, information, knowledge we acquired from different educational institutions like the school, college, and university, etc. So if it is asked to write about the means or the mediums from which we acquire narrow education, then we are to mention about the schools, about the colleges, about the universities. Let us go back to the next slide. We have to see the characteristics of the narrow meaning of education, and then we see those experiences, information, knowledge, etc., which are imparted through educational institutions like the school, college. There should be one comma just after college, university, etc., are received for the satisfaction of the immediate economic and life needs, is defined as education from narrow sense. To understand the narrow meaning of education in a better way, we may discuss its meaning as the given below. Let us see these. Number one, education is imparted and received through and from the formal and sometimes non-formal agencies namely school, college, university, open school, open university, correspondence course, imparting agencies, etc. These are the formal agencies. The school is a formal agency, the college is a formal agency, the university itself is a formal agency. Open school is also a formal agency. Open university is also a formal, agency or means or mediums of education, and correspondence courses are also, the formal agencies, formal agency with the help of which we acquire different types of experiences as well as we acquire knowledge in narrow sense. Let us go back to the next one. There is a specific age limit for the entry and exit. You cannot go school when you will be 40 at the 40 years of age. Means age limit, there is a fixed age limit as per the Constitution of India. When the child reach the age of class 6, he or she can enter into the level of primary education. So there is, age limit of entering into the system of education and exit for your higher secondary course. Suppose you are to, you can simply, or you will be able to remain only for 2 years, not 4, 5, 6 years, according to your own expectation as well as will. Education begins as a certain period and continues for a certain period. Number 3, education is subject oriented. Different subjects you are to study. Suppose you are to study education. If you are the students of arts, then you are to study education. You are to study political science. You are to study logic and philosophy. You are to study history. You are to study English. You are to study Assamese, like this. Subjects are not selected according to the interest of the students. Here you see subjects of the syllabus are not selected or selected for inclusion considering your interest. The curriculum designer and planners decide the subject and subject matters of the syllabus. Number 4, education is limited only to the formal and non-formal educational institutions. Life experiences do not have any specific significance once we consider education from narrow perspective. Let us go back to the next one. Fifth characteristics is education is a purposeful activity, and the purpose is complete course as well as get the certificate as well as mark sheet, which can be treated or which are treated as the licenses to enter into the sector of job market, to enter into the sector of knowledge market. Education is imparted and received only to satisfy the immediate needs of life, that is vocational life, demand, that is economic demand. Number 6, education is imparted and received to do good result in the examination. Knowledge and information that are imparted and received are measured with the help of examination, and thenceforth I got first division in matriculation examination, I got 90%, I got 40%, like this we can measure the knowledge which we acquire by going to schools and colleges. Let us go back to the next one. Number 7, characteristics of the narrow meaning of education. The educational objectives are primarily concerned with the satisfaction of material needs of life. In a sense, it is vocation-oriented education, or it is knowledge market-oriented knowledge or information. Number 8, education is a purposeful and deliberate exercise for the acquisition of information and knowledge to satisfy the immediate needs of life. So friends, these are the special characteristics of when we consider education as or education from narrow perspective. So you are to keep in mind all the points. You can sense the terminology or you can sense the word by simply understanding the concept. You can in your own language write in your examination, and these are very much important for your examination when you are to, if it is asked to explain or write any 4 characteristics of the narrow meaning of education, then out of these 8 you are to write 4. So thenceforth the other part will be discussed in the next class. Thank you so much for today. You study well because your classes in institutional setting or settings have not been started. Very recently, we hope that the government will declare the opening of the educational institutions so that you can go to colleges and you see you can attend the formal classes, and you can have the you can have the chance to keep close contact with your teachers, so that face to face, by sitting face to face, you can discuss all the most important subject matters of your own own subject area, maybe education, maybe logic, maybe logic and philosophy, maybe political science, etc., etc. But till the colleges or till the college or higher secondaries remain, colleges or higher secondaries are declared open, you please, or you go on, or you carry on your study, so that once you come back to your college classes or school classes, higher secondary school classes, you can very easily understand your courses. Thank you so much for today.